Assalamu alaikum, welcome and hello to the News and Culture Show with me, Laura Conda, and my co-host, Paul Cooper.
Assalamu alaikum.
So the News and Culture Show is all about the latest news from around Luton, as well as arts, events, culture, and so you can get out, have fun, and do lots of things in this amazing town. So, Assalamu alaikum, Paul, how are you?
Salam. Yeah, good. I've got problems with both my cars. Both my cars are in the garage at the moment, so I'm just waiting on them being repaired. So,
you've had to borrow the wife's car today, didn't you?
But I'm not complaining because she has the newest car in the family.
Oh, she got the nicer car.
Yes,
it's because she's the most responsible. I think is what I'm hearing.
Well, no, she just recently bought the newest one. So I had mine for about 10 years. So.
I feel like you're a man of habit. If you've got a car that you like and enjoy, that you're not going to change it.
I do, though. I have to say that I would love to buy Fatima's car. I like it so much, but inshallah, we'll see.
Inshallah, we should make do it for you.
No, because she's not too keen on it. She keeps saying she'd like to change it for something else.
There you go. Maybe we have to get her a new car and then get rid of by selling yours, and then you get the car. Yeah. That's why he's happy today, viewers. It's because he's got his wife's car.
I have to say, I'm very, very grateful. Otherwise, I honestly don't know how I would have got to work today.
It would have been a very long walk for you, I think.
Yeah, but luckily she didn't have to go and teach in Bedford today. She's doing it like we are, connected. You can see us online. So she's teaching from home.
I'm going to have to edit this incredibly quickly later because we're filming this on a Wednesday. It rarely happens, and usually we do it on a Tuesday. Today it's on a Wednesday. It's been a wild week, right? I wanted to start with this first story because it is
this wonderful charity story. Yeah,
it's a wonderful story. So, Luton Borough Council comms boss has raised 10k to bring hope to refugees in Jordan. So, head of communications at Luton Borough Council, Adam Kearney. If you listen to Rise and Shine, you would have heard him on there last week. So, inshallah, some of these generous donations have come from Inspire FM listeners, no doubt. But yeah, he's off this week, later on this week to Jordan to help at the refugee camps there.
This is for the Palestinian refugees.
This is for Palestinian and Syrian refugees that are in the camps in Jordan. Right. So the 43-year-old who's originally from New Zealand, you can hear it if you listen to him, is going to spend 6 days supporting Palestinians, Syrian refugees in overcrowded camps. The funds raised will give food, hygiene, supplies, toys and hope to children and families. I know from when he spoke on there, he said that a lot of families there, some of them children, like some of the people have cancer, some of the families have been split up, so some of them it's children on their own. It's a really tough situation for these people there. There's a lot of orphan children there, and he's just hoping to bring some joy into their lives by going out there. And I really do commend him as well to going out there. He's the flights and all his accommodation and stuff to go to Jordan, none of that will come from the 10k he's raised. That's all been funded by himself. He's paid for his own flights and own accommodation. So, you know, that whole 10k will go solely towards the refugees there in from Palestine and Syria. He's going as part of a group from the CAP Foundation in Luton. Well, they're not Luton based, they're London based, but they've been featured on this radio station quite a few times. They do a lot of events in Luton raising money for Palestine. I believe they've also got a event on Friday for Poems for Palestine. I believe that's they're part of that as well. Please correct me if I'm wrong though.
But this is one of a number of things. I helped in a fundraiser about 5-6 weeks ago, and we raised nearly £9,000 then. And recently, I was the imam for one of the Jummas, and I made a suggestion, and a lot of people have picked this up. Inshallah, if we all tried to give at least maybe £5 each week. You know, that's easy to give. What's that these days? It's the price of a coffee when we go out somewhere.
Yeah, definitely. At the minute.
Just imagine if we're all doing this, how much it's going to help towards going to these charities. And of course, you know, they're in desperate need.
They are in desperate need. And I think, you know, it's really commendable. It's not just Adam that's going out there. There is a group of other volunteers that are going to make sure that these this money and everything they're taking with them is going to be kind of well used, and you know, looking after these families and children as well. It's an incredible experience.
You can often feel, from an empathetic point of view, absolutely. I got to a stage, I felt so mental. About a year ago, my mental health really suffered because I got over involved with social media, and I actually cancelled my social media accounts for about 3 or 4 months. And I went back on recently, but I set myself a 10-minute limit maximum, because honestly I was posting things and reposting things, so I was thinking, desperate, what can I do to stop this thing going on in Gaza? And I completely got absorbed with it. So it is something you can get absorbed, but if you find getting absorbed, sharing and posting things, on things like Facebook or Instagram or whatever your social media is, inshallah ta'ala, if you give that regular charity, that's one of the best things we can do.
And it's part of our,
and of course, keep making dua as well.
It's part of our 5 pillars as well. Really, it's one of your 5 basic pillars of Islam. So we should all be doing that anyway. But he's ended with the generosity of Luton is incredible. People who don't have much themselves are giving a lot, and it's really humbling to see. And I think that says everything. I think, was it last year we were the 2nd most generous town in the whole of the UK.
In the whole country, yeah.
So it says a lot about how much we are committed to giving to charity in Luton, and
especially when you take into account we're known to not be a well-off area.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of poverty here. If you take that
into account, we are known to be an area where poverty is higher than other parts of the country. So to being the 2nd biggest charity giver in the country is a massive thing for our town. We've got a lot to be proud of.
We should be really proud of ourselves, and inshallah Adam has a safe journey to Jordan and a safe time there.
When he comes back,
we'll get him on. Either we'll get him on, or I think Tarek might pinch him, knowing Tarek, but we will try and get him on to talk about his experience, because I think it's really important, and maybe it will inspire other people if they want to get involved and go out to Jordan with support of the CAP Foundation. There is that possibility if you do have the time and the ability to self-fund, if that's something you're keen on doing, that's something hopefully we can get involved with and let you know how to do that. But this week, inshallah, he has a safe journey. Inshallah, he's safe there.
Inshallah.
And really commendable. Well done to Adam Kearney.
Yeah, have a safe trip, and we hope to see you soon, Adam.
Yeah. Right, I'll let you go with this one.
Okay, so sadly, we've had a violent attack just recently on Sunday, just gone. 3 men have smashed a car windscreen and were then chasing the victim in Luton at the weekend. The suspects were wearing black clothes, and you can't believe it, they were carrying bats.
Yeah.
Approached a man in a red Toyota in North Drift Way, and this happened at about 5 to 10 p.m. on Sunday. The men smashed his screen and then started chasing the victim, and then they ran off. They drove off in a white sports utility vehicle and followed him until the man drove himself to the police station to get help. That's quite terrifying, really.
That must have been really horrifically terrifying for this victim. The fact that he had to drive all the way to the police station. Bearing in mind he was in North Drift Ways in Farley Hill, so it's not a far distance, but in those sort of situations that must have felt horrifically far to get there.
So the police officer who are investigating, they're saying, please, can anyone that was in the area who may have dash cam footage of these cars, so it was 5 to 10 on Sunday night just gone, or even if there was doorbell footage or CCTV in North Drift Way, could you report it on 101, please? Crime reference is 4054555725. But I suppose that's difficult to remember. But if you ring 101 and say that you've got some dash cam footage, if you think you have some, unbelievable.
Yeah,
these people need to be caught.
They do. Luckily, it's probably the only bit of crime that we've got this week, which it's not lucky for the victim, but it does at least feel a little bit better this week.
Yeah.
But it must have been horrific for him him or her, sorry. So I do hope that they, whoever they are looking after themselves and being looked after by family if need be. Yeah, this next one's interesting. No, it happened in Bedford.
Oh, facial recognition.
Facial recognition is happening in Bedfordshire. Yeah. So
Big Brother is watching us.
Big Brother is watching us. So it's been rolled out last week in Bedford. So one man was arrested during the first day of using live facial recognition by Bedfordshire Police in Bedford Town Centre. Bedfordshire Police said their innovative technology was used in Bedford on Friday, and 26,560 faces were scanned. That's quite a large number of people.
That's about 500 an hour.
That is a lot of people.
Well, yeah, but that would be over 24 hours. Obviously, people aren't out 24 hours.
Yeah, of the day. So yeah,
so of the daylight hours where people are walking around. Crumbs. That's.
Yeah. So the man.
That's well over 500 to 1,000 an hour.
Yeah. So the man was arrested that they were looking for on suspicion of failing to appear at court for alleged fraud offences. He was arrested. However, this was in Bedford this Friday. It's coming to us in Luton. It's going to be in Luton Town Centre.
Oh, when?
This Friday. It's Friday the 26th is a very busy day. As you're about to find out later, it's Rishta networking this weekend. We do have a lovely interview with Zaffar about that. But yeah, Friday's a very busy day this weekend apparently. But yeah, Friday they're trialing out this in Luton Town Centre. I don't know how I feel about it.
I think I know how I feel about it. I think if you've led a good, clean life and you don't get involved in bad things, this is my instinct. What have you got to worry about?
I get that, but at the same time, it does feel very big brothery, and it feels like, is it going to be used for? Because obviously, Palestine in Action is now considered a terrorist group. So if you go to, and there's been issues around people getting arrested at other events and things like that. So, if you do perhaps go to a Palestine related march in London, are you then going to face, arrest in Luton over that? This is the issue, is that, you see what I mean? It can be used.
Well, we're getting to a whole thing now of whether we should discuss this whole law about. Yeah, I mean, I think it's critical, but it's a very separate thing. We're getting into.
They're very separate, but you say that.
Yeah, we.
Not always people are committing crimes.
We do have a situation where literally the government has decided that they can now police a person's speech, and literally on this issue there is no freedom of speech, and and it is causing quite a public uproar. Sorry, I mean they've arrested nearly 2,000 people so far, haven't they? Yeah. So and this is the thing: words now are as dangerous as bombs and bullets.
I won't.
I mean, you
I mean, they recognise Palestine on Sunday. How much that actually means when you're banning groups that are related to Palestine as terrorist groups,
I have to say.
Sorry, I shouldn't put the inverted commas. It is legally considered a terrorist.
Well, since
group.
We brought it up, I think, in all honesty, I think the government needs to realise they really have lost the public on this one. And this is the thing. I think perhaps they were assuming that it was going to be the Muslim public that were going to say that they were supporting this group. But the thing is, we can't. Because for us, because it did involve criminal action, they were breaking things, and religious Muslim people can't get involved in that.
Yeah.
And the people that they're arresting, these are indigenous English many of them middle class people, doctors, lawyers, nurses, the Church of England clergy, and the reason is because they're absolutely infuriated that they are policing free speech. That's the issue. They're policing free speech, and that's what they didn't. That's what they didn't anticipate. They've infuriated the indigenous population because absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, you'll understand this, Laurie, like me. You're English born and bred.
It's frustrating because
fundamentally,
right to free
English
speech.
people say you cannot police our speech, and that's what they've done.
Yeah.
So I think the government really, really needs to rethink this. I think they thought that they were going to be policing the Muslim population. But of course, we can't support Palestine Action because they got involved in criminal action, damage. And of course, for us, that's haram, forbidden. And that's who they're arresting. They're literally arresting the indigenous population. I mean, it's laughable.
It is quite funny.
It's literally laughable.
This is veered off a little bit. We apologise for that. But yeah, I have concerns.
If you disagree with us, contact us. You're welcome to have a chat with us online. You can chat with us on this show if you don't agree with us. You can
even come into the office. We're more than happy to have a chat face to face as well. But yeah, I think I'm concerned about it, not only for things like that, because they do use it at these sort of protests. They use capturing of live facial recognition. I also have an issue of, is this technology foolproof? Are people perhaps going to get arrested? We all know about the fact there's been some racial bias with these kind of cameras where they have
they've massively improved that now.
I know they've massively improved that, but
it was quite a problem, but now they've pretty much ironed that out.
Inshallah, but
because what they actually want to do, they actually with your passports, and you walk through and you have to put it down.
Yeah,
they're actually trialing. They're actually doing trials now in parts of the world where you walk through, you don't even have to put your passport down, and it scans your face, and it will instantly recognise your face according to what is stored on your passport. So you don't even have to. So literally, coming forward in the next year or two, you won't even have to put your passport down.
Yeah,
you will just walk through, and if it's recognised, the gate will open it and it'll let you walk through. If it hasn't recognised, then you'll have to separately go through.
But I'm glad they've improved it, because I think that would be my biggest concern. I mean, it'll be interesting to see how many arrests potentially this could cause on Friday. Might be a very busy day at Luton Police Station, so probably not the day to get arrested. If you think about committing a crime this week, don't probably do it on Friday, would be my top tip. But yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see. No doubt we'll find out next week what if they arrested anyone or if they caught anyone.
Well, let's see.
Let's see.
Perhaps we should contact.
I'll contact Bedfordshire Police and ask them.
No, the local one, the Luton one, and just see how it went.
No, you can contact the whole force. They're a very small force.
Oh, well, I'm sure they want to speak to us.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. I'd like to hear. Maybe we can get someone from maybe even the Police and Crime Commissioner. We'll see. Let's see what I can pull up my sleeve next week. Yeah. This is a really nice one, I think. Well, it's not on a nice subject, but the work that they're doing for it is hopefully going to go and change a lot of people's lives. So a Luton youth group has gone to Parliament to show safeguards with stab victim first aid information on them. So the Luton and surrounding areas Kenyan Community Forum, which was partly created, I believe, by the Mayor of Dunstable, the current Mayor of Dunstable, Sally Kimonia. Sorry, apologies for mispronouncing your name, Sally. I do apologise for that. But yeah, a youth group in Luton has shared their pioneering project with MPs in Westminster as they explain why their safeguards matter to them. They aim at equipping their peers with first aid information, how to deal with stab victims, which I think is fantastic. I think it's really necessary. The idea came from youth workers after the death of 19-year-old Derek Kinyara, who had been friends with many at the Luton and surrounding Kenyan Community Forum. He sadly died, I think, was it not last year, the year before? He was stabbed on Crescent, the junction of Crescent Road, Hitchin Road and Hucklesbury Way.
No, I know exactly where that is.
Yeah. But yeah, Rachel Hopkins, our MP for Luton South and South Bedfordshire, invited the group to Westminster Hall this week, and
it's one of the oldest buildings in the country. Did you know that?
I did, yeah. I do love.
It's the original. As far as I can remember, it's the original site where the Parliament sat before it got larger, and
they've built upwards.
Yes. So that place where we all saw where the Queen was laid in state, that's where it all originally was.
But yeah, the group went down to, they were so excited about it. Apparently the kids were buzzing. Some of them were really nervous because this was the first time in Parliament.
That must have been quite exciting.
Yeah, it must have been. And I think it's
really
well deserved. They really deserve that because they've obviously put a lot of hard work and effort into putting this. And they also had representative from Wingman Mentors, who are a fantastic group. The work tackling youth violence, so like knife crime, they work in with children at risk at county lines. I thoroughly love Wingman Mentors. Cy Philly, who runs it with his.
Do you know I'm just reading it. Do you know they've actually installed 70 critical? So there's places around the town where 70 critical bleeding control kits have been installed. So where there's places where stabbings have taken, if they're in key places around the town, presumably shops and things like that will know where these are, and also like the police services, so they can quickly get to the stuff that is going to save a life.
I think they're with, the defibrillators. I think they're in there. So I think it's a case if you ring 999, similar to if you need to use a defibrillator or they tell you where it is. Don't quote me on that. It would make the most sense for them to be in the same place, but I might be wrong. But yeah, so these cards have clear instructions in language written by the youth for the youth and what to do if you witness a stabbing. These were a result of the impacts community of knife crime, the impacts on the community of knife crime and the youth voice rising up. And I think this is fantastic. I really commend this group of young people. That their youngest ambassador that went with them was 7-year-old Tabitha, 7 years old, and she went to Parliament to show off these cards that she's been involved in making. And she said, I may be small, but I know that helping is always the right thing. That is why I believe in the Save a Life card. It helps show kindness to people that we may not even know. It would make me very happy to see everyone carrying it. So, inshallah.
That's a lovely thing to hear, isn't it? 7-year-old getting involved.
7-year-old getting involved. I think that shows how much knife crime really does affect these people. Yeah. I was at the Fairness Task Force earlier, and they were talking. It's a Luton Borough Council initiative, and there was people there that had funding to run groups, and there was a woman there talking about how they would help supported these kids in the school, and one of them has had family members that have been victim of knife crime, and it had really taken a toll on her massively. So we all know how terrible knife crime is to not only our wider community but those that are affected. It's not just the people that lose a loved one potentially or are left with the after effects of being stabbed. It's also the families of those people that commit these violent attacks. They lose potentially their child for the rest of their life. They're in prison, they have to go and visit them in a horrible prison visiting room. So I think it's really vital work these children are doing, and mashallah to all of the group. Really do commend them.
Yeah, because of course the sad thing is, even when the person that has done a crime like this, if they come out 15 or so years later, that they're not remembered for being the person according to their name. They're always remembered, oh, that's so and so who murdered that person. Yeah, that's so and so who did the killing.
Also, as well, if
forever they've lost their identity even when they come out.
Time stands still for them as well, because you think if you go in when you're like 16, for example, you come out at 32, 35, whatever. That's nearly 20 years you've lost.
Yeah.
And
the most formative years where normally
where your development is
life, they come back in their mid-30s or late 30s, and they're literally where they should have been at 16, 17.
Yeah, it's like I know there's a lot of work done around rehabilitation in prison. They do a lot, but it's difficult for both sides. Right, I just want to go through this quickly before we have to go to the break and our guests.
Yep.
So Luton taxi driver who locked a woman inside his cab loses his court appeal to get his license back. So he appealed to have his license was stripped for letting a woman out of his car. He wouldn't let a woman out of his car until she paid a higher fare that he'd wanted. Luton Borough Council revoked Mohammed Razak's Hackney cab licence in October 2024 after a lone woman was locked inside his vehicle and was only allowed out after she had to pay an inflated fare. He's not been allowed to drive a cab since. He appealed the council's decision at St Albans, but had to go to St Albans Magistrates Court, where the district judge upheld the council's decision.
Well, but the thing is, fundamentally, that's imprisonment. You can't do that.
Yeah, it's awful as well. Like, especially a lone woman, that must have been terrifying.
If someone owes you a fare, well, you owe the fare. You can't go and commit a crime to try and get your fare.
Yeah. Anyway, the council's the ruling that the driver's actions had left the passenger distressed and trapped, which I understand. She must have been horrified. Councillor Simmons, leader of the council, said, "We take safeguarding the public extremely seriously. We do not tolerate any form of violence, intimidation or abuse, particularly towards women and girls. And we are pleased that the decision to revoke the licence was upheld, which reinforces our commitment to ensuring that only safe and responsible drivers are licensed and that people feel safe using taxis in Luton," which I think is the most important thing. We've come to the end of that. We got there.
End of the first half.
But if you join us after the break, we have some great interviews. We have Nifthy and Sabiha, who are talking about a business insights and networking event. It's really exciting stuff. And we've also got Zaffar, Inspire FM, well-known Inspire FM person. I don't know how to describe him.
Wedding networking event.
And he's also going to talk about Rishta networking. But join us after the break. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalam.
Get Luton prayer and Jamaat times for your local masjid on your phone. Download the Inspire FM app. Available for free on the App Store or Google Play.
So welcome back to the News and Culture Show with me, Laura Conda, and my co-host, Paul Cooper. Now the News and Culture Show shares all the latest news from around Luton, events, culture and arts that are happening, so you can go out, get involved and have some fun. Joining us now is Nifthy and Sabiha from, well, they're not from the same company, but they're coming together to be part of a group in Luton that are putting together a business networking event that sounds really exciting. So if you own a business in Luton, this might be the one for you to go, meet new people, connect. So, Hi.
Hello.
So, do you want to explain a little bit about Business Insight and Networking event? What's it going to be? What can people expect?
So basically, essentially what it is we wanted to create a networking event where it's not just purely networking, but it also gives insights into how to run a business. So this can be from anyone who's already established a business, or people who are thinking of starting a business, or people who have already, 5-10 years into a business. So what we wanted to do was we wanted to select a bunch of people within a specific industry, and we wanted to talk to them or have them talk to us about certain things they see in business that might be pitfalls or things to avoid or things to help maximize the efficiency of a business, basically.
I suppose some of the simplest things, like what's the appropriate way to keep your records ready for auditing and
absolutely.
Yeah.
It does start, I started my business, so I'm a HR consultant. I started about 4.5 years ago. When I first started, I remember I was like, oh my gosh, I was in-house all the time. So obviously I was HR for bigger companies. So this is time I'm going on my own, going solo. I know HR, I have no idea how to run a business. I don't know about finances. I don't know anything about, let's say, insurance. So I don't know anything on how to go ahead and do things like that. So this is where it stems from, to give business owners the ideas of what they need to be thinking about when they're running their own business. There are things about legal things that they need to think about, financial things that they don't think about a lot of times. So I can talk about coming from HR perspective, when I speak to small businesses, they have no idea about obligations, about legal things they should know about HR in their business. So there's a lot of little things that the businesses don't know, because you're really great at what you do. So you start your business and you go there, and then you're kind of like halfway through because you don't have the foundation yet, but you're trying to build on top of it. You will crumble. So this business networking is about giving the opportunity to learn about how to do business in a certain way, in the right way, and also network with other businesses in the community in Luton area. The other bits about it, we were talking about it as well. Luton gets a really bad reputation for loads of different things. Our business communities are very broad. We come from loads of different spectrum, religion, background, ethnicity, and we all want to come together and show, look, there is nothing like that in Luton. We all care for each other, and we will help each other out in the business community.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think it's a wonderful idea, because you've got an opportunity to meet perhaps other businesses that are going to help support your business with an angle.
Absolutely.
Like, for example, if you need an auditor, look at it and say, right, I don't know how to do this.
Exactly.
You may find someone there who's experienced at helping people set up how to do their first audit, or other sides, for example, financial planning, or like you said, HR.
Yeah.
So you've got a wonderful opportunity there to make new friends with other businesses that you perhaps got no idea exist there.
Absolutely. And that's lacking in our community a lot, that we do find. Especially, we are part of a business networking group, and we do see, I'll be honest, we hardly see many South Asian people coming in and networking.
yeah, I was going to say the group you're part of is very
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it would be lovely to have a South Asian community, our Muslim community, to come together and actually understand how business networking can help each other. We learn from each other, because there's one thing I found: when you are inside a business, so you're working for a business, it's different than you're running your own business. People actually help each other a lot more in the business community. So if you go out and you just say, look, I don't know how to do this, how do you do this? People will come and give you, the insights, the tips, and you can learn from each other a lot more.
I mean, personally, I've come across in the town recently, in the mosque community where I go, there's a lot of IT consultants living in that area.
Yes.
Lots of IT consultants in that area.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things about like cybersecurity, things like that we don't know about. So for this event, we are getting a speaker who's the head of school in Bedfordshire University, and they do AI. So this speaker will come and talk about AI in business, because that is the next thing, right? So we should be understanding how AI works for our business. It's not always negative. If you know how to use it, it can be a really great tool for your business. So there is a lot of different things, and our aim is to make sure that if this event goes well, we can have more events where we can have different speakers, and we can have variety of speakers, so we can all learn from each other and network.
Yeah, I was going to say, what other speakers have you got? Because, people might be thinking...
I don't want to give anything too much away, but we've curated speakers from, like industry leaders in their specific fields, and it's not just the speakers as well. We got the speakers and the panel discussion. So they'll get a couple questions each, and they all get to weigh in on different topics as well. So you get multiple perspectives from, just one angle, more than just one angle, basically.
Yeah, we've got a business coach. We've got so I'll speak about HR for a bit, and then we've got AI person coming and speaking, and we've got a financial panel who we will talk about, take question about finance, and give you understanding about everyday frequent questions that people don't ask.
And you'll also get to hear me speak about the lovely,
insurance,
exciting, thrilling world of insurance.
I mean, you say it's not thrilling, but without it, some businesses are in big trouble.
Yes, they will.
Exactly. And some of the stuff that Nifthy says, he's a bit of a TikTok star.
Oh.
And then the stuff that he says on insurance, we don't even think about.
Yeah, because some businesses, depending on what you might need public liability insurance, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Most of them do.
Employers' liability is, a legal requirement. It's things people just... They're
course,
not really thinking about, and this is
if you don't know you need it, you're not going to have
exactly.
it.
You're not going to have
and then if something happens, you think,
and this is just to piggyback off what Sabiha was saying earlier. Like you could be amazing at what you do. You could be amazing at HR, but then when you leave that, start your own business, there's just so many things you don't know about. And it just leaves you like exposed, basically, in terms of if you try to do things on your own and if you're not doing it properly, it builds bad habits in business as well. So going to professionals who know what they're doing and understand how to create a solid foundation, it basically means everyone gets to fill in other people's weak spots, and it brings the community together, because everyone knows everyone in the local area. We support local businesses rather than faceless corporations.
Exactly.
Basically.
That's the other bit, isn't it? You can pick up a call and talk to someone who's in the kind of like an answering machine, and they're just reading out from there. And similar things happen in my industry in HR. I understand the businesses because I work with them, and I love working with small businesses because this is the core of your community, and you can actually help them, because a lot of time people don't even understand they need an employment contract. I spoke to employers who's got 60 employees, and they came and spoke to me, and I was like, okay, that's great. Let's look at your policies. Let's look at your contract. I don't have any. Can you imagine? So those type of things is not because they're doing it on purpose, because they just, what you don't know is what you don't know. So that is a scope to understand and connect with people.
Yeah, the real value is the information. Basically, attendees can come and it's not just getting a small talk and a business card and walking away. They have real actionable things they can do to implement in their business when they leave the event.
Yeah, and that's what we would like to do. That's the aim.
All type of businesses welcome, because some people might be sitting here thinking, oh well, I don't really need to network, or I think I know everything. What is everyone welcome to?
Everyone's welcome.
Everyone's
Even if you
welcome.
don't have a business, come, because you never know what you might learn.
Yeah.
Because it might even inspire you from the stories you hear from others to start your own business. Maybe it's just that one story you need to take that leap of faith to start your own business, and you never know what it could flourish into.
I mean, I never thought of it from this simplistic angle before, but I suppose if you're a person starting out with an idea, I suppose the ideal thing you'd be looking for is like a tick list sheet of 1, 2, 3, 4, going down. Right, I need this and I need this, and
Absolutely.
like an order of things that you need to have up and running for your business to be legally secure and doing everything you need to.
Yeah.
And like you said, if you don't know, you don't know the things you need.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a wonderful opportunity for people to think, okay, right, so I've just watched that presentation. I didn't know I needed that.
Exactly.
So it's going to be a wonderful opportunity for people to come and either share their expertise, or if they don't know, pick up that expertise. And plus the other thing, I suppose as well, if you've got experts in business coming, they may pick up other businesses that may be able to help them with some of the things they need. Maybe it's to do, like you said, in experts in HR or insurance, or
social media.
Social media. And that's actually our plan. So next one, we want to kind of focus on growth. This one is more about pitfalls and what to look out for. And our plan is already to do the next one. It's all going to be about growth. How do you grow your business?
And what I've noticed is I've been to quite a few networking events, and everything assumes people already know what they need to know about business and growing, basically. But we'd like to take a step back and maybe assume that not everyone knows everything, because there's so much to know. It's you won't be able to know everything, basically. And it's good to just solidify what you do know, and maybe if you don't, maybe it's good to learn, because there'll be other like-minded individuals there as well, looking to grow, elevate, and speak to each other.
Yeah.
And I suppose the other thing as well, you may have been in business some time, but of course rules and regulations change
all the time,
and you might not have been aware that something has changed. And you need to be implementing that. You didn't even know that new rule was there.
Absolutely. And like I said, some business owners been in the business for years, and if you start something on the wrong foot, you will know until you actually get told that, oh, hang on, that's not the right way to do it. So it doesn't necessarily mean it's for new businesses. It's for any business that has been even operating for years, want to come, and because learning is something that doesn't stop, and we learn more from each other, I suppose, than reading a book. So it helps.
Yeah. So how what sort of number of business have you got sort of registered interest at the moment?
So we are at the moment, we've got about 20.
Yeah.
So
businesses,
we've only opened it like a week and a bit
Yeah,
ago.
and we haven't even really done any flyers or anything.
Anything
Yeah.
yet.
It's just
so
word
yeah.
of mouth we've been spreading. So
And a
you-
post on LinkedIn. I did see
Exactly.
a post
And
on
what you
LinkedIn.
thought, thank you. Yes. So there's a post on the LinkedIn.
So masha's going well. So you've
Yes.
still got a month to go yet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is the first time we actually have done anything like
Yeah.
that.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
it's a bunch of just about a couple of us, and actually there are a bit more other people at the background as well that's
Yeah.
been helping us.
Yeah.
Got sponsors that's helping us as well. So because people feel that the same way, other business owners, they know something like that is needed. We do have networking meetings in Luton, and we, as business owners, I go there as well. There's great things going around in Luton already, but I suppose we don't have events like this where you can go and learn and you can, and network at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And is there like a capacity? So have people got to get in quick? Because that's why I kind of got you guys on today, because I don't want people to miss out.
Yes. There'll be earlier you do, because we don't want to fill up the whole place with too many people. We want to keep it where people can actually experience the whole thing. You don't want to just bombard the whole theater with people. So we would love to have 60 people at the moment, and we want to keep it to that. So if it goes over it, we will shut it, just because it's the first one, and we want to give people opportunity.
We'd like to gauge reactions as well,
Yeah.
people to see how it is.
So if people
and develop
can,
what we need to do.
so if people can book it early, that would be amazing. So we understand from beforehand as well, and then you don't lose your chance to book it after.
So where can business colleagues find your advertisement or registration for the event?
We were told that we can give you as well.
She will give me the link on Eventbrite, and I'll sure put it on the post for this on social media.
Exactly.
We also have flyers coming out. As well.
Yeah.
And we also have an Instagram page called Elevate Your Business. So you can follow us on Instagram and
Elevate Your Business.
Yes, that's the name of the event that we are doing.
Okay.
But it's so brand new, it hasn't put much through it. You can also follow myself on Instagram on Face to Face HR Luton or Nifthy as well. So we will be constantly.
I was going to say, you've probably seen Nifthy's content.
Yes.
Everywhere.
It is everywhere. I was saying Nifthy is a bit of a TikTok star with his insurance. The stuff I learned from him that I didn't even think about insurance.
I saw a very good ad being filmed at Comic-Con where someone fell over and everyone started like turning around and was like, "Oh my god, are you okay?" And it was actually, he didn't hurt himself at all. It was literally just for this ad.
The fall was so good that even I thought it was real, and I was filming it. It was it was good.
That's the top level acting.
It was great acting. So where and when is this?
Okay, 22nd of October from 9:30 a.m. till 1 o'clock, Luton Library Theatre.
Luton Library Theatre, perfect. And does it cost anything? Because that's probably people's main thing.
It does cost. It costs. So we're charging £10 door price, and Eventbrite charges £1.50. So I'm afraid it's £11.50. It does seem a bit like odd number, but it's because of that. One of the reasons for that is we could have kept it free. Is because we would. If anything is free, people don't, and a lot of time people just think it's just a free thing, but there is a value to it.
I feel like we're offering real value to local businesses.
Yeah.
That's something they can use in their businesses, and it's not just, come speak, give some business cards, never communicate ever again. Basically, there's real information from real industry leaders.
Yeah,
it's going to be great. There's loads of things that I'm expecting to learn that I didn't know before, and it's probably same with everyone else going. Yeah. Because of the amount of varied people that's going to be there, there's definitely bound to be something you won't know. And if you know everything, I'll reimburse you the cost of it.
Yeah, and if you know everything, please teach us. I would love to know something.
I mean, I think that is very fair, because if you do know everything, I want to know where you learned it from, what you're doing.
I know, right?
You've obviously been in business since you were born.
Exactly. We're also having someone talking about how to actually work the room in the business networking event. So it would be from a business networking expert themselves that's coming in, and she will talk about how you work the room. How do you get the best out of business networking, which I don't think many people know.
Yeah.
I think that's really important, because I think a lot of people think that they can just get into business and everything will run smoothly, but they don't realise how important networking is and how vital it is. And will there be any food? Because I know it runs until 1, but people will be left sitting there going, is there any food?
Yes, we are planning on having some
we are.
snacks. I'm afraid it's not going to be sit-down meal.
Yeah,
You're not going to get a full English or a curry, but there will be food.
snacks.
There will
Yeah.
be food.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you so much for
No
coming
problem.
today, guys.
Thank you for having
really
us.
appreciate it. So that is 22nd of October, 9:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Luton Library Theatre. You can get your tickets on the link below. I will probably include it. Right now, I'm just going to stand here sitting below. But yeah, thanks so much, guys.
Be there or be square.
So joining us now is Zaffar from Inspire FM, but also from Rishta Networking. You will have seen him. He's been around at Inspire FM for many, many years. He also presents FNL, Friday Night Live. But he's here to talk to us all about Rishta Networking this weekend, this weekend, it's this Friday. Very exciting. If you're looking for a partner in your life,
Just 2
this
days
might be
away.
the place to find it. So, Assalamu alaikum, Zaffar. How are you?
Walaikum salam. I know you were talking about food and 3-course meals and stuff like that before the break.
Yeah.
And yes, there will be food. There will be food provided this Friday, the 26th, 6:15 onwards. Rishta Networking. This is the 11th event that Inspire FM has organized. So Rishta Networking is very closely linked to Inspire FM. So we work together to organize these events, networking events, for people who are looking to get married. So people who don't know what Rishta means is effectively, Rishta is an Urdu term basically describing the fact that you're looking for a prospective partner. So that's what this event is for. And 11th event we've had. We have fairly good turnout, to be honest. We aim for about 50 each, about 100 people. We get around about that all the time. This time is no different from previous occasions as well. I would say if you haven't registered, people, this is the opportunity to register now. You've got a couple of days. Normally there's a mad rush at the last minute. We do have to put a pause on it at 50 because otherwise the arrangements get a little bit complicated on the day. So urging people to register now quickly if they want to make use of this event. Like I said, we're trying to organize this every 3 months or so. We have other plans as well in place to try to help people who are, I guess, a little bit shy and want somebody else to help them introduce to other people, etc. So we got some plans in place as well to do some guided introductions and things of that nature. So a very needed facility. Everywhere I go, people talk about this, but people are shy. They don't want to come out their shells and go to events like this. But I think urge them to do so if they can.
So how does it work, Zaffar? What can people, prospective sisters and brothers expect if they come? So how do you organize it and run it? So how do you get them?
So in essence, basically,
communicating?
your people are broken into sort of age bracket groups, effectively. And we've got a number of seats basically, and people just move around the different seats. So you meet one person and then the next person, etc. So you're given about 5 to 10 minutes to talk to each other, to get to know. And if there's somebody that you think you click with, then we provide alternative opportunities afterwards to speak to them in more details if they want to get to know each other, etc. So it is an introduction type of service. I think a lot of people know straight away once to see people if they're right for them or not. But we do also provide, like I said, facilities for them to actually get to know people a little bit more if they need to. And there's food after everybody's met everybody. We have food, and people generally just talk over food as well. So they're sitting around the table and they talk to each other. The key point really to note is it's an event. It's an opportunity. It's a networking opportunity. You're not gonna go there, right, and you're gonna find your ID partner there and then. But there are clues. You might find somebody there and then, or you might find somebody through somebody, or somebody might know somebody from somebody. So it is like I said, it's just truly a networking opportunity, and I think people ought to make use of it. It's available.
So I have to ask.
That's right.
So 11 years. How many successes have you had then, Zaffar? As in, how How many marriages do you think you've?
Yeah, a lot of people it's 11 events, right? So we do them 3 times a year. So we're doing it for about 5 years. So it's not it's a networking event, right? So we rely on people to tell us. So through grapevine and stuff, we know there's a few basically, but sometimes we don't hear of them. If we were an arrangement company, we arrange people, and so that way, there'll be more harder proof and evidence. But because we're focusing on networking at this stage, we tend not to find out. But there is good vibes out there. We get positive feed from everybody. They enjoy the event. They get to know people. They get to know sort of people through people, etc. But usually, once they've found somebody, it's the last thing on their mind to let us know that they've actually got married. There have been a few people have got in touch with us. There's somebody I think we spoke to earlier this week as well who got married through our networking event. But he was known to the team, so he was able to sort of share his experiences, etc. So yes, it does happen. We hope it does happen. We hope it happens much more. But ultimately, we're a networking opportunity event, basically, not a marriage arrangement at the moment.
That sounds fantastic. This sounds like really random, but reverts allowed? Because I think that's a lot of people that might be listening that are reverts and have struggled to find partners because they don't know how to do it in such a halal way. So is that a reverts welcome?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've had reverts before, on quite a few events. We try not to restrict many. We ask people to sort of identify themselves, because I think people still like to have labels and stuff like that, and there is a question whether you're a revert or not. But there's no bar as such, to be honest. So we positively encourage it. I seem to remember our very first event. We had reverts join the event, and they're very popular. To be honest, everybody wanted to talk to them, and eventually we had to let people out and say, look, the booking has expired. You need to go. So yes, positively welcome, I would say.
I think that's amazing, because I know, well, we're both reverts. I'm not looking, never am. But I know, like, some people, it's really difficult to find someone in a halal way. It can be really tough for reverts. So it's great to hear that they are welcome as well, and they can find it and be supported in a halal way to find a potential husband or wife. I forgot what I was going to say.
So after the event, do you think we can do a follow-up so you can sort of perhaps let us know how things went? How many?
Yeah, we don't do a one-to-one follow-up. What we do is paper-based. So we send emails back to people and say, how did you get on? We get feedback from that way.
So I perhaps didn't make myself clear. Perhaps you give us a bit of feedback, because I think what would be nice from the point of view of expanding the culture of the town. If you're doing this every 3 months, Zaffar, perhaps making this a more regular thing, so sort of people know that they can hear about this happening regularly via the radio stations, so we can give you the support that you need. Because I think that this is one of the most important services
100%
our young people need, because they're often crying out for support in this area.
Yeah,
and often elders won't know of someone that has a daughter or a son that wants to get married, and it's one of the most noble things that we can do for our young people.
I mean, to be honest, I mean, we mentioned this a few times. We got bigger plans than what we're delivering. So it's been event based so far, and we got quite a few people on the database, and we're using that as a springboard to launch other services. So one of the other services that we're trying to get up and running. We've been trying to do that for the last 6 months or so, and I think we're almost there. There's some changes that we need to make to the website and etc., which is really having a tailored approach. So we case by case, we take on a case. We get somebody who is looking. We take their case on and we look for them actively, and then we find matches for them and basically introduce them, etc. So that's a service that we're trying to set up. We're also trying to set up surgeries in various places. So, for example, in mosques and places like that, we'll have somebody go in there with our database and say, if you're looking for somebody, we can have a quick search in our database, see if there's somebody that you like, and if you do like, then we can get in touch with them and try and organize a meeting, etc. So that's another thing that we're trying to do. So I do understand this is a very sensitive area, and there's limitations on what we can do, but there are also people who are quite quite shy and perhaps don't want to be that forward to actually sort of have that conversation themselves. So what we're trying to do is we have these guided introductions as well. So if there's somebody that somebody likes, what we can do is take their details and then call that person and say, this person has shown interest, are you interested, etc., and act as a middle person. So there's that service as well. So we've got lots of plans, tiered plans, basically, step at a time to introduce these, but they all take time, and we do appreciate it's an enormous issue. So it's a massive issue, but it needs tackling, and it needs tackling in an organized and sort of structured way.
No, jazakallah for that. Zaffar, just quickly, how do people sign up? How much do they need to pay, and what do they need to bring with them?
Yeah, so basically, the next event this Friday, if you pop over to rishta-networking.co.uk, if you type in Rishta Networking, we're top of the list in Google or search engine, and then basically on the website, it takes you through the registration process. So you register, put in a few details in terms of what your profile is and what sort of profile are you looking for, and you'll basically get assigned a ticket, etc., and we can use that to come to the event on Friday, and we can take it take it from there. Basically, there's a process of registration when you come into the event, but the website is the entry point. So reset-networking.co.uk, and then we can take it from there. Really, instructions are on the website.
Jazakallah, Zaffar. We'll let you go now because we know you need to go and pray. But we shall see you soon, and good luck on Friday. Inshallah, there's lots of matches there, potentially.
Inshallah. Jazakallah. Thank you.
All the very best. Masalam.
Okay.
So that's all for the News and Culture show today. But join us next week at 6 p.m. where we'll have all the latest news from around Luton, events and things going on. But for now, Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.